Hey, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all about how to glow from the inside out. And today I want to talk about some of my favorite empty skincare from 2025 because I cannot believe that this year is starting to wrap up already. Like, mind blown. So I thought it would be fun to journey through some of my favorite skincare that I've used from beginning to end. This video is a little bit different than my end of year best of 2025 video. That is coming. Don't you worry. I always get comments like, when's it coming? Are you doing it? Is it? Yes, it's coming. It's going to come in a couple of weeks. It'll be closer to the end of the year. And that's a video where I share, products that I haven't necessarily listed as favorites in years past. They're usually new and fresh picks. But today's video is going to be all about products, like I said, that I've used maybe multiple empties of that I've used from beginning to end. So if you want to like play the hits, so to speak, and learn about some of my favorite skincare that I emptied this year, give the video a big thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Come join our skincare community, especially if you love talking about empty skincare. I have a particular love and satisfaction for talking about empty skincare. And to play my intro, let's jump into the empties. All right, so I have to start off with the Make Prem Essence Toner, of course. This is something that has made it into, I think, every empty video this year and many empties videos in the past years. I think I started using this in 2022, and it really is my #1 favorite holy grail hydrating toner. Like anytime anybody asks me, what's your fit? It's this one. What's your most recommend? This one. What's the best one for dehydrated? This one. This one. I love this so much. It's really watery, but it really provides deep down burst of hydration into the skin. It's not sticky, it's not tacky, it's not thick and heavy. So this is something that even though it is incredibly hydrating, you could layer this onto your skin a couple of times. I do personally enjoy a good 2 layers of this. If I was really dehydrated, maybe 3, and it does the trick every single time. Something that I love recommending too because of that texture. It's going to work for a majority of skin types. Nice and gentle formula here, no fragrances, no essential oils. It's a goodie, and I've emptied many bottles. Another one on my, of course, list is going to be the Stratia Lipid Gold. Now, this is a product I've been using consistently since 2018. Seriously, I've used this consistently since 2018. That's wild. This is almost always in my skincare routine. Every so often, I will switch it out for something else, and I'll be like, I'm shaking it up. I'm trying something new. But what happens in a couple months? I come right back around to this one. It's just such an amazing barrier strengthening and barrier maintenance product. And I think that's why it's so hard for me to let it go, because it just keeps my skin barrier so strong with the mix of cholesterol, fatty acids, as well as the ceramide content in here, the niacinamide, as well as the sea buckthorn and the multiple nourishing oils in here. It's just a really well-rounded formula that is great for brightening the skin, strengthening the skin barrier, and a little well aging thrown in there as well. So I personally like to use this almost like an emulsion step in between serum and moisturizer, but you could also use this as a lightweight lotion or even as a dedicated serum product. It is amazing, and you've seen me use it in all of my skincare routines. You will continue to see me use it in all of my skincare routines. And Dr. Ceuracle Vegan Kombucha Tea Essence. This is something that, like the Make Prem Toner, been using since about 2022, maybe 2021. And I will say I was surprised I didn't have as many empties of this year as I have in years past. I think I just got kind of sidetracked by some other milky essences and toners, which I'm going to talk about in the video. But it's still a long time favorite, and I actually just bought another bottle for the upcoming colder months. And so I absolutely adore this. The Bi-Phase essence here is so good for my combo skin. We've got that watery tea portion with the fermented kombucha, which really helps to give your skin all those little micronutrients that help it glow. That healthy lit from within glow, and that glowing healthy vitality to the skin. That's what tea does. It's also a great anti-inflammatory ingredient. It definitely helps to reduce redness on the skin whenever I'm using this. Definitely the natural redness that I can get on my skin, especially with sensitive skin, and especially with suffering with dryness in the colder months, especially around the nose. This really helps to decrease that. If I have some active acne, definitely helps to calm that down as well. The creamy portion here is made out of sunflower seed oil, and it is so incredibly nourishing for the skin. But because it is the two-phase, the two-phase essence that you mix together and it emulsifies, you get all that richness. You just don't get like the heaviness of like a traditional cream textured product, right? Like a moisturizer. It's lighter, it's more elegant, it's more better absorbed into the skin. But on top, you get the silkiness, the richness, the nourishment, the comfort. And so when my combo skin goes a little bit more dry, this is perfect. The amount of nourishment here is gorgeous. All right, now that I've got the real classics out of the way, let's get deeper into some of my favorite empties from this year. I have to talk about the Skin 1004 Probio-Cica Bakuchiol Eye Cream. I've had 2 empties of this year, and I actually just opened another tube of this in the last month or so. This eye cream, wow, this rocked my world. I started using this towards the end of 2024, like in the fall. And I remember really raving about it then because it's just kind of like a Goldilocks moisturizing eye cream for me personally. It has this really great, like a traditional cream texture, but it's silky. It's really easy to spread. It's quickly absorbed into the skin. It's not really heavy, dense, greasy, or hard to spread. I hate those eye creams where I almost have to warm it up in between my fingers before I can spread it like easily onto my skin without tugging that delicate skin underneath my eye. And so I love how silky, luxurious it is. It's incredibly moisturizing, but it's not like greasy and oily. Because some eye creams can be so moisturizing, which is great if your under eye area gets dry. Mine does, especially in cold weather. But I hate when it's like super greasy, or if I'm trying to use it in the morning and then my makeup and concealer is just kind of like caking up and sitting in fine lines and being all weird because the emolliency of the eye cream is just too much. This just has a really gorgeous silky texture. It's a nice applicator tip. It doesn't drag or pull your skin at all, even though it is not the cooling metal tip. What's nice about it is once you get to the end of the tube, you can unscrew that. But when it comes down to it, texture and moisture levels here, gorgeous. It also brings a nice brightening to the eye area too, especially if you have some darkness from lack of sleep. That's where I've seen this really shine. Nourishment, keeping the eye area nice and plump and smooth, but also brightening. So I have to talk about the Beauty of Joseon Ground Rice and Honey Mask because OMG. I fell in love with this in the summer of 2024 and it has not left my routine since then. And that's why I've had multiple empties of this year in 2025. And I have an open jar right now and I am looking at this jar. It's going to be empty soon enough. I need to replenish. I don't have any backstock. I'm getting a little nervous about that because I love this mask so much. And the reason why I have so many empties of it this year is because it's something I've built into my weekly skincare routine. I've really built almost like a ritual around this mask because I pretty much always use it right before I sit down to film my videos for the week. This is a gorgeous marriage of clay and honey. I know it says rice in there and there is a rice component here, but for me, it's really about the clay and the honey. The clay really helps when my combination skin goes oily, especially in my T-zone, because that makes blackheads and enlarged pores and rough texture just so much more obvious on my skin. And really, there are certain skincare ingredients that definitely help, but when it comes down to it, you want some quick results. Clay is really the way to go for that, definitely. But clay is also very stripping. It's very drying for my skin. I am prone to dehydration. I have sensitive skin. And while I do have an oily T-zone, I can get quite a dry U zone. So I have to be careful with clay masks. And so this is a really great combination because we've got the clay that refines the skin and then the honey, which moisturizes, soothes, conditions the skin. It also helps to reduce redness and inflammation. And so this is also great when I have some breakouts because it helps to soothe the inflamed pimples, take down the redness, just some general redness that I might get in my skin. This helps to calm it down and even out my complexion, makes it a lot more glowy. And then, of course, the honey itself, it's moisturizing, but it's not dense and overwhelming and oily. And so it actually helps the clay to stay moist through the entire masking process. Gives you the benefits of the clay, but not the downsides of the clay. And you get the benefits of the honey as well, which help to really balance out your skin. It definitely was a unicorn for me, and it might be a unicorn for you too. So yeah, I use it once a week and it's definitely part of my skincare ritual, but every time I wash it off, my skin is plump, it's moisturized, it's soothed, it's glowing, and it looks great. So I for sure have to talk about the Paula's Choice Pro Retinaldehyde Dual Retinoid Treatment. Now this is another product that I started using in August of 2024 and I haven't stopped using it since. And I do have a dedicated review on it that you can definitely check out. I really love this. This product has transformed my skin from 2024 until now. It's done nothing but good things for my skin, and it's consistently maintaining good skin for me. And so I have been using this. I started about like 3-4 times a week. Right now, I am probably using it a little too much. I am up about 5 to sometimes 6 days a week. I'm going to need to cut that back down for the colder months. Quite honestly, I can feel my skin starting to get a little dry right now. And I think it's a really good, retinaldehyde product. But it's not just about the retinaldehyde. And I feel like I'm explaining this to people quite a bit, even though in the name it says dual, which means 2 retinoids. Dual retinaldehyde and plus another one. A lot of people just fixate on the retinaldehyde, and that is an important component, and it is making up the majority of the active benefits in this product. But what gives this the edge, and what for me and my personal situation, this changed everything for me, this one little extra edge. The dual retinoid in here is a novel form of adapalene. Now, this is another type of retinoid that is going to give those collagen stimulating benefits, but it's particularly good at addressing inflammation in the skin, and that makes it really good for acne prone skin. Now, I am congestion prone. I do get acne from time to time, and I do get inflamed pimples. And when I get inflammation on my skin, I will be left with a dark mark that lasts for months. So what was really great about this is retinaldehyde on its own will help if you are congestion prone because it has a skin cell turnover benefit. But the additional edge for calming inflammation means my skin is a lot clearer, first and foremost, right? But when I do get congestion or when I do get a pimple, it's not as inflamed. This is important. It not only helps to speed up the healing process, but it actually lessens the damage from inflammation on my skin, which means the hyperpigmentation process is lessened. So I'm not getting as deep or as dark or as damaging of the hyperpigmentation on my skin, which means I'm not struggling with the constant cycle of hyperpigmentation on my skin. This is why you're noticing the difference in my skin throughout the last 15, 16 months now. It's not just because it's clear of congestion and of acne, it's because there are very few hyperpigmentation marks now. And when I do get them, they're not as severe and they fade faster. This is the difference for me personally and why I stay loyal to this product. It is really pricey, but it also lasts a really long time. I've had bottles last 5 to 6 months. And so there's a lot of good value in here. A little bit goes a long way, and I think it's awesome. VT PDRN 100 Essence. Chef's kiss. Love this so much. I really like the PDRN line from VT. It's just so good. They do use plant-based PDRN. It is derived from ginseng, and I do think that the ginseng is what's giving this product probably the majority of the edge here. My skin just really responds well to ginseng itself, and it has for many, many years in other products as well. It really brings out a healthy vitality to the skin. It really reduces redness, inflammation. It's a strong antioxidant. It's very protective for the skin. It promotes skin elasticity. And so it's just a goodie overall. And the PDRN component in here, I know, does it work? Does it not work? I don't know, but I love this product, quite honestly. And it really does. Everything I just said ginseng does, this product delivers plus some. Definitely helps to firm up the skin. That's what I've noticed using this like for over a year now. Yeah, definitely some firmness and bounciness to the skin. It has a very dense, moisturizing type of texture. This is not a watery essence. This is almost more like a thick serum. Very creamy, very moisturizing, not going to be suitable for all skin types. I'm just going to put that one out there. But my skin, especially in cold weather, loves this. It is incredibly firming, plumping. It's very dewy in the finish. It really gives you that glass skin type of effect. I feel like, the ingredients like the PDRN, even the plant-based ginseng PDRN in this particular product really contribute to that quality skin. It's subtle. It's something that you need to be consistent with to start to really pick up on those benefits. But once you do, right, plus this finish and the way that it plumps and firms your skin, that's when you're unlocking true glass skin. That's when you're unlocking that radiant type of skin, right? And so that's what this product brings. You know, it's subtle, but when you're really looking for that kind of effect, this delivers. Now, when I was talking about the Dr. Ceuracle Vegan Kombucha Essence, and I said, you know, I didn't empty as many bottles of this year as I have in the past, not because I don't still enjoy the product, but I did get a little distracted by some other products that I also really love. The product that I was referring to being distracted by is the Haruharu Black Rice Probiotics Barrier Essence. Remember this from the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025? I could not stop using this. And I even said it in a couple of my routines. I was like, guys, I know I kind of have to stop using this because it's starting to get warm outside and this is a very moisturizing essence. But like, I literally cannot. I think I'm addicted to this. My skin is addicted. And I actually tried to stop using this product like in the early spring, like in March and April. I tried to stop. I even like emptied a bottle and I was like, this would be foolish to open a new one because I know I'm not going to get through it by the time the real warm weather starts to roll around. And because it's so moisturizing and my combo skin dry in cold weather, oily in hot weather, not going to be a good match. I know myself, right? I was like, I'm not going to open this bottle. It's a waste. Well, I stopped using it for a few weeks in, like I said, it was like March or April, and I couldn't deal. My skin was missing this product so hard. I was like, I'm just going to open this other bottle. I just can't. I can't. My skin needs it. It's yearning for this product. So this is probably the thickest, creamiest essence I've ever used. You know, there are some of those milky, creamy toners, but they still have like a watery, runny component. No, this is real thick. Really thick, very moisturizing, not made for all skin types. And like I said, I knew I was going to have to stop using this once my T-zone really started to get oily. And lo and behold, there was that threshold moment towards the later spring where the whiteheads started to pop up for me around my nose because this product is too rich for that skin type for that season for me personally. But all winter long, I can feel my skin craving it right now, quite honestly. It's like a slightly runnier version of the VT PDRN essence texture, quite honestly. It is incredibly nourishing. And another one that is going to unlock those two necessary qualities for glass skin, right? This is very barrier supportive. The ceramides, the cholesterol, the fatty acid content in here will strengthen your skin barrier. Crucial for dehydrated skin, right? If your skin is very irritated, if you're using very aggressive actives, like this has you covered in that department, keeping your skin nice and strong without the fragrances and the essential oils and all of that. But this real creamy, moist texture plumps up the skin, makes it incredibly dewy, really, really smooth with moisture. Any dry patches will be eliminated with this, right? Because it's just so incredibly nourishing and moisturizing. Adore, adore, adore this one. And I have to talk about the Haruharu Black Rice Airy Fit Sunscreen because this is a product that I actually feel like I slowly fell in love with. So many of the products I'm talking about in today's video, I was like, it was love at first use, right? This is a product that I have used in the past. It was one I actually put off using for a while, and I used it in the past, and I was like, yeah, it's nice. I reviewed it, I talked about it, gave it a testing period, and then it kind of fell out of my life and like out of my memory for a long time. And then I picked it back up. I believe it wasn't in 2024, it was in 2025 when I picked this back up. And I was like, you know what? I feel like I gave it a positive review. I liked it then. I had to re-review this product because I am deeply in love with this now. It has revealed so many benefits to me that I'm actually starting to rely on this as my main squeeze sunscreen. And this started it started in the spring and then definitely in the summer and onwards. This is such an amazing sunscreen. So it is a chemical sunscreen. It uses, I think, 4 different new generation chemical filters if you get the Korean version, right? But what's really unique about this is the texture because so many K-beauty sunscreens have that sort of wet, essency, dewy like quality to it. They're kind of almost like a loose creamy gel type of consistency, and they do leave your skin shiny. And I like those. I have quite a few favorites of those. But it's not a very unique texture. Like almost all K-beauty sunscreens have that texture. This is different. This has almost more of a drier velvety type of finish to it. It is a cream. It spreads really nicely and thinly across the skin. It's not overly moisturizing, but it's not a wet texture. It just spreads really nicely, thinly. It's breathable. It creates that nice barrier on your skin, that sunscreen barrier on your skin, right? Without the shininess, the dewiness, the wetness, the greasiness, the slide around quality that those wetter formulas can have. This just locks in place really nicely. And because it is, you know, it's not a dry matte finish, it is velvety, but there is a little bit of grip to the film that it forms on the skin, and that is amazing for makeup application. I think that's where I really started to fall in love with it, because I was like, I just don't really want all that dewiness. But then I started realizing I can skip out on makeup primer when I wear this, because this actually functions as a really nice makeup primer. My makeup's going on real smooth, and it's lasting. It's locking in and lasting throughout the day. I'm notorious for like not powdering down. I'll powder down maybe in the morning if I remember, but I don't do it throughout the day. I'm notorious for that. And I don't do a lot of touch-ups either. And you know, there are some times where I will wear like a concealer or some kind of like a foundation that will transfer really easily, especially if I'm not on top of powdering. And I have transferred my makeup onto other people's clothes before. It's really embarrassing. But the funny thing is, some of those notorious like concealers especially, it hasn't happened with this sunscreen, because it holds it on and it doesn't slide around on my face or break up on my face as much. It's staying in place. And so I might get a tiny bit of transfer, but not nearly the mess that it used to be. And so this is such a great sunscreen if you don't want anything shiny, right? If you want something that can work really well underneath makeup, lock your makeup in place, create a little bit more of a smoother application process for you too. Because primers aren't just about locking in your makeup, it's about how your makeup applies in the first place. And you usually get a much smoother finish to your makeup when you use a primer. Well, you can skip out on the primer and you can still get the benefits using this sunscreen. This is another sunscreen, you know, this is one that's not rated for water resistance or anything like that. I would not suggest using this for like high UV activities or anything, or sweating, water, anything like that. But the protection here, the test results of this, it shows a little bit more protection, particularly for UVA. So if you're really struggling with hyperpigmentation, there's just a little bit more protection in this formula. It made me gravitate towards this formula too. I feel just a little bit more protected with this particular one as somebody who's prone to hyperpigmentation. So love this one. And it really had a redemption arc. Like I said, I liked it, but it wasn't really like a whoa. It was just like, yeah, this is nice texture, interesting, unique. But it really had a redemption in 2025 where I was like, OMG, I can't stop using this. This is like essential to my daily skincare routine, especially when I want to wear some makeup. It really transformed the way that I approach not only my skincare routine this year, but also my makeup routine too. So I'm curious, what are your favorite skincare empties from 2025? Let us all know in the comments below. And if you love the video, definitely hit subscribe. Come join our skincare community, especially if you want to see my end of year best skincare of 2025, because that video is coming up very, very soon. So hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you're never out of the loop. I love you so much. Thanks for being here with me today. I want to encourage you to keep shining your individual light. We need you. I love you, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye.